Hi, Jim Robinson here with the Premium Daily Stock Newsletter from ProfitTrading.com. Now, here's a stock we've been looking at getting long this week, AMD, and here's some of the reasons I'm thinking this is a good trade. Might be a good trade to go long here in the near future. On this GET software I got, GET stands for Gann and Elliott Trading, so it puts the Elliott wave count on here. And so far it's got this label as a 1, 2, 3, 4 waves, and then after the fourth wave will come the fifth wave if it works out. It doesn't always work out that way. You know, there's no sure things, but this trade setup does work out like about 70% of the time. So now we'll zoom in on it a little bit here. And then the times it doesn't work out, you know, then we got a close stop, and it shouldn't be too big a deal if it doesn't work out. But here's what happens here, if I can get this lined up right. Okay, the bottom here is the Elliott oscillator. What the Elliott oscillator is that's all that is the difference between a 5-day and a 35-day moving average, and they make an oscillator out of it. And basically when the 5-day moves higher above the 35, then it makes a bigger oscillator, and that means strength in the market, and that means stronger momentum. So on the third wave we've got pink momentum here, and stocks normally don't make see, this oscillator here is higher than this oscillator here. Stocks normally don't make a top on peak momentum. So what the idea is once this correction's over, this fourth wave correction's over, normally they're going to have a fifth wave, and you know, I would say the odds are pretty good. This is looking pretty good. Here's where the fifth wave's projected right now, up about the $13 area, and this stock is down about the $8 area now. So that would be a pretty good move if we can catch that. And basically that's the stock we're trying for right now in the premium newsletter. Now, last week I had buy signals up above this, and I kind of knew that, you know, that might be a little early, that this might have one more swing down, because these stocks like to kind of put in a bottom and then put in like a double bottom or a head and shoulders bottom, whatever this turns out to be. So even though I was trying to buy last week, I knew that I kept telling myself there might be one more bar down, and then it happened Friday. So this bar, you know, will tend to scare people out, but really this is just normal action. And here's one interesting thing about this Elliott software is the blue bars say uptrend, the black bars say neutral, and the red bars say downtrend or bearish. Well, I found out a lot of time these correction lows come in on a red bar. So the fact that Friday made a red bar, that's just kind of saying the low's about in. Now here's the other thing about the Elliott oscillator. When it makes the third wave, which is right here, what you're supposed to do, you're not supposed to take the trade until the oscillator comes all the way back to the zero line, which it did. It doesn't have to be exactly zero, but it's got to be close to the zero. And last week it was right at the zero line. Now with Friday's action, it went below the zero line, which is fine. It can go below the zero line. Now if this thing were to just collapse, and these bars would get, the oscillator bars would get really big under here, then the trade would probably be off, because that would say, hey, this thing, the momentum's going in the other direction. But right now we have a strong upside momentum, and then just this is just a normal correction coming in here, and everything's lined up for a 3, 4, 5 wave high. Now here's another indicator we'll be looking to go long. So I'm looking to go long this stock. And here's another indicator. Actually, this is the indicator you're supposed to use with this software. And most of these indicators with this software, they don't tell you how they work. They're proprietary indicators. Let's see, Elliott trigger right here. If this trigger line goes up above zero here, that's a buy signal. And you can see that if this stock finds a low in here and just starts trading higher, this Elliott trigger is going to go above zero. So, you know, I think this is going to be a buy signal. It's not going to be a buy signal for a couple days now, so I took it out of my newsletter. And then here's the other thing you do. You put on these trend regression lines, and this is just a fancy way to draw a trend line. But you basically take it from the peak to the low, and then when AMD closes above this, that means it's a trend change, and that would be a buy signal. And right now it looks like oh, that's going to be a long time before that gets up above there, but it can just be a couple bars. It can go zing zing and it can be above there. I've been through that before where I think this stock's not going to get above that for a long time, and then the next thing you know, 2 days later it is. So I could keep going here, but I better wrap it up for this video. But you kind of get the point I'm saying. It's a strong momentum up. This is probably profit taking correction for a fourth wave, and we're looking for a fifth wave up, and we're going to be buying right in here, and we're going to be trying to get about $3 or $4, $5 out of this stock. And that right now is where we're at with AMD, with the premium stock newsletter. So thanks for listening to my video. Appreciate it. Jim Robinson, ProfitTrading.com.